Neal, if you could, start at the beginning. How did you first find out you had COVID? What type of symptoms did you have? How did it start?
Well, my wife had it also. And I think her symptoms, if I can remember back that far, because I'm old, her symptoms started with she was coughing, and then all of a sudden I got a cough. Now, every year I get these seasonal allergies. So I said, all right, let's check this out. I go to a different hospital that I ended up with when I was in the hospital for COVID, and they checked my chest, gave me a chest x-ray. They said, your chest is fine. It's probably just your allergies. So they didn't test me. I go home. All of a sudden, I'm starting to get, my temperature is going up. It's coming down. The cough, I couldn't get a full sentence in without coughing. So, a very good friend of ours, Mark O'Toole, said, you get your rear end ski, I'll say it in Polish, to the hospital and go get tested. I'm not going, my wife couldn't get me to go. I'm stubborn. I finally go to the hospital. I wait, 2 or 3 days, and it comes back, you're positive. Okay, now what do you do? So, you stay at home and you watch everything, and I'm in my lounge chair, and all of a sudden, somebody suggests, I forget who, and my wife goes out and gets that little thing you put on your finger. Test your oxygen levels. And it's at 92, 87, hour later it's 84, going down. She says, you go below 85, we're going to the hospital. When I went to the hospital, it had gone down to 73. All the organs were shutting down. I was basically dying. That's what I can remember. It's scary, and you never think you're going to be the one that gets it. And it affects everyone differently. It gets to the point where you become suicidal. I did. I was looking for anybody who had a gun. I was, what? I left a legacy. I did my artwork. I'm in my 60s. I'm okay. I'm good. You know what? You're not thinking straight, and it gets scary to the point where you're getting other people scared, and you can't make any rash decisions when your body and your mind are now in a place they shouldn't be.
How long ago was that? And then when you then had it, and then through the 10 days or longer, tell me about that experience.
Yeah, it started, I believe, in late July, early August. I think it was 3 or 4 days of not feeling real well, and then I get to the hospital. I'm in the hospital for almost a week, and you can't sleep, you can't shut down, and they're giving you fluids, they're giving a shot in your stomach because they got to guard against blood clots. That's one of the side effects, the pneumonia, the blood clots, of which I had both. And they're pumping you with fluid, you get arms and things in your arms and needles and all. My appetite never went away. I lost weight, which I've since put on. I was calling it COVID-20 for the 20 pounds I put on. But so now every morning I'm taking my blood thinners, my pain pill, zinc, vitamin C, D, B, Q, I don't know. It's just like, now I'm on medicine the rest of my life. Still watching and still got an appointment with the pulmonologist at the end of the month. I still get an appointment with a hematologist. They want to check. They don't really know. This is all new to everybody.
Tell me about your work.
What I do is I'm a jock who happens to be able to draw. I have no formal training in what I do. I found a medium that I work in that I have an ability, because it's no different when I coach college baseball, and I did it, 15 years. Ability you're born with, technique you'll learn, and you enhance that technique with repetition. Do it again, do it again, do it again. Now, the interesting thing when I did the drawing is, I don't know if you've been in the old Boston Garden. There's a new garden. It's not the Boston, they call it the Garden, but it used to be very smoke-filled. So with my magic markers, I was able to create the effect in the stands of smoke being in the garden. And of course, my New England Patriots. TB12, the Butler interception during the Seattle game in there, and Danny Amendola, Edelman, and TB12, and of course Gronk. Now I did a drawing for Gronk, and a very interesting story. So I do this beautiful drawing of Gronk, and I had half a dozen prints made, and he's doing a signing. So I bring him for him to sign. He looks at me. First of all, he's 6'7", 200 whatever. He's this huge individual. And he looks at me and goes, "Can I have one from my mother?"
What was your attitude before when you first thought COVID, or like you said, your wife had it, and what it is now? I mean, this is serious. This is real.
I said very early on, everybody's going to get it. Listen, do the masks work? Should you wear a mask? Absolutely. To this day, we still don't know where we got it. With all the tracing you're doing, we don't know. We have no idea.
A lot of your work, obviously, you can do it by yourself, but you're still in a public place here, and obviously you want customers and potential clients to come on in here. How has it changed your life as far as your business is going?
This thing has become a staple. I always have it on me, so when people come in, the first thing you do is you grab your mask and you put your mask on. We don't really deal with a walk-in clientele. We'd love to, but we're not in a location that we've got traffic walking around. So that really didn't affect us. I would bring work home. I mean, back east, I've been doing this 47 years. So back east, my studio was in my house. So I had the advantage I feel like drawing, I'm gonna go over to the drawing board. I would come down here, get everything I needed with my markers, pencil up the illustration and bring it home, and I would work at home. That's where it started. My best was when I came back to the gallery, and I think I took a picture of my drawing board that day. I'm in my happy place. This is my passion. This is what I do.
Obviously, many of the Boston heroes are much of your focus, but I'm drawn to this one. Tell me about this one, Neal.
Well, this is a piece that I did. Let me just look at the date of this too. I did this in 2019. Okay, now readers weren't here yet, were they? So what I tried to do is a little bit of homework, a little bit of research. So what I did is I had time on the drawing board, and I start always at the lower left-hand corner, and I'm doing one. Now I'm go to the right-hand corner. Now I'm building it, all right? Because you don't want, an elbow coming out of somebody's head or, that type of thing. So it's a lot in the design process, putting it together. So I started researching who are the greatest names in Raiders history, because you know what? They may come here. It wasn't guaranteed yet when I started the drawing.
What do you tell people now, or what people that are maybe skeptical perhaps about COVID in general? What's your message to them?
You can take both sides of the aisle, without getting political. It's called both sides of the aisle. It's real. It could happen to you, or it could not happen to you. Do you want to put yourself in a place where you look back and go, "I wish I had," or just do what they're telling you to do, and not only protect your safety, but protect safety of others that you're in contact with? That would be my message.
How about mentally? What else has changed now in your life?
It's a great question.
Yeah.
I had a second chance on life because I was basically dying. Do I look at it differently now? Yeah, I do. Have I changed who am I still paying the rear end ski? Yeah. Some things aren't going to change, but I'm looking at things differently now. Because to make an analogy to golf, I'm on the back nine. What do I got? 20, 25, maybe 30 would be great. I don't think it's going to happen. So my advice is live every day to its fullest. I had the opportunity to have a second life. I was literally dying from COVID. I literally died from COVID. Do I have a different perspective on life now? Yeah. Is it dramatically different than before? No, but it's different. So that's the best way I can answer that question.